Welcome back to another episode of Packing Up and Piecing Out, the podcast where two American girls spill the tea on what it really takes to move abroad. I'm Lily, an American in London, and this is
Taylor, an American in Prague. Hi, everyone. It is officially Packing Up and Piecing Out, last episode of the year. I cannot believe it. And even in the midst of the holidays, we couldn't leave you guys hanging. We wanted to still release episodes. Whether or not you're visiting your OG home or you're spending the holidays in your new home abroad, we are here to remind you that there are people out there who get the highs and lows of living abroad and want to make you feel less alone. And that's why we wanted to make sure that we were still pumping out episodes during the holiday season.
For sure. We're a real podcast. We don't take breaks. Like, there's no breaks for us. I always think it's funny when podcast takes breaks over the holiday because it's not that hard to batch them in advance. And as a listener, I always want my podcast over the holidays because you have time off work, you're going on more walks, you're doing your crafts. Like, there's even more time to listen than ever. So we didn't want to disappoint you, basically.
Definitely.
But in honor of us embarking on a new year of life abroad, which I guess this is like our second kind of full year in our countries. We thought we would use today's episode to envision 2026 abroad and talk about it in terms of a vision board on air with you all. So we've spent the last few days pulling together some photos that we're going to show here on camera. So if you want to watch this episode on YouTube, you can. Or you can go to Instagram, but we'll also be describing them very thoroughly. So listening is all okay. And we'll also, very importantly, have a template you can use to make your own vision board abroad. And Taylor, have you done a lot of vision boarding in your life before this?
I haven't. I think I've made one once before this, but I usually do set just general yearly goals, but they're usually just written goals. And so it's fun actually now having some photo inspiration for the next year. What about you?
You know, I actually have been doing vision boards like in Canva for the last 2 years. And let me tell you, they all come true. Like, I actually low-key believe in them because if you thought about something enough to put it on your vision board, you're also likely to work on it enough that you will accomplish it in a year. So I think 2 years ago, I was living in Australia and my vision board was all about moving to London and like continuing my podcast business and like all of these things that I did accomplish in the next year. And then last year, my vision board had a lot of like romantic things on it because I was like, I think I really finally want to get into a relationship. And then 3 weeks into 2025, I met a boy. So Just saying it might work.
Yeah, I think that just the manifesting in general, like even if you don't do it that actively, but just thinking about your goals or writing them or vision boarding them, it just shows that it's something that's high priority to you and in your mind. Like the concept just makes so much sense. And I feel like some people think it's woo woo, but it's really not. Like it's really just goal setting and thinking, you know, this is what I want my life to look like. And then setting objectives to achieve those goals. I guess sometimes people just say, oh, I want to become a billionaire. But, you know, I think that most people do these like realistic goals. And that's why so many of them do just end up coming to fruition because it's something that you really want and can actually work towards. So yeah, I'm excited to put this together for our listeners and also inspire them to make their own for 2026.
Yeah, and everyone that makes their own, please tag us. Like, share it on your Instagram story and tag us. That would be so exciting. And then we can learn more about, like, what you guys are all dreaming of. And if we're all thinking about it together, it'll definitely come true, right?
The energy, the vibes, so. It'll be there.
The Packing Up and Piecing Out community will deliver with your vision board, for sure. So we're going to be doing, how many we have, 6 categories for our vision board. So
7.
We're each going to go through 7. Okay.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yes, 7.
Okay. We're going to go through travel, what we envision for our travel year 2026, financial, housing, friendship or community, relationship, career, and personal. So I think we should start with travel. What is on your 2026 travel vision board?
Let's do it. Here is the image that I chose. This is Tokyo. I went to Japan a couple years ago with Mark, but it's just my dream destination to go back to. I mean, I'm thinking of travel next year, not necessarily like I want to go to Japan and that's like my goal trip. I'm open to going other places or going new places, but Japan is like the one place that really calls me back. So I'd love to go there again and go to Tokyo again, but also do things a little bit different, a little off the beaten tourist path. I think that Mark and I will take some time at the end of this year to like talk through our travel plans for next year, because we really have no idea, but sort of set like general month timelines. And our goal, like we did this year, would be to take 2 big trips again. So 2 big trips and then maybe some shorter like long weekend style trips in Europe. But I would love for Japan to be one of them. Okay, let's see yours, Lily.
Yeah. That is amazing. Japan is not mine, but that would have been a good idea. Mine is actually, this is a photo of Cannon Beach in Oregon. So my travel vision board is to take Lime Bike back to Oregon with me. So it's like a couple kind of running down the beach.
That's so cute.
Which, funnily enough, I don't really like the Oregon coast that much. Like, it's not my favorite part of Oregon. But I want to take him all over the state, do all the fun things, and just show him where I'm from. And I'm really excited about it. So it's not like a new destination at all for me, but showing someone around it, really exciting. And we're also planning on going up to Seattle and then Canada, because he used to live in Canada. So Canada will be a new place for me. I've actually never been to Canada at all. So maybe I should have put Canada on my
Will you do
vision
Vancouver
board,
then? Like stay up the western coast, like Vancouver?
Yeah, I think like Vancouver and maybe Vancouver Island or somewhere outside of Vancouver. But yeah, I've never been to Canada, and of course it's beautiful. I guess when you're from Oregon, it's almost like, why even bother going to Canada? It's so close, so similar. But I'm very excited. Hopefully we're gonna do that in like June or July. Not 100% sure, given, you know, my whole unemployment status and my whole future being very up in the air. But that's like the big trip for 2026, I think.
That's so exciting. And yeah, we talk a lot about sort of that jealousy of like living in the place that your partner lives. Like now, Mark and I both live in Prague, but I did spend a lot of time in England. So I definitely get that, being around his family, his friends, his place growing up. Like you do just have this desire to just show them where you're from and like why you are the way you are almost. Like it's like they can't fully know you until they see where you've come from.
So true. Like right now I'm getting prepared because he's gonna meet my mom in just a few days, my mom and brother.
Gosh.
And I'm like, wow, it's gonna explain so much to you, because I am so much like my mom in so many ways, and I'm sure showing him Oregon will be the same. It's honestly gonna make him so jealous, because if anything, he's way more like Oregon-y than me in terms of being super outdoorsy. So excited to, you know, drop him off on hikes, go shopping, and then pick him up. That's the plan.
Okay, let's do financial.
Yes, let's get into the money. What's your financial 2026 goal? It was hard to pick a picture to encompass this, I will say.
Yeah, I agree, because a lot of pictures that came up on Pinterest are just of like bunch of $20 bills and like that vibe. I mean,
no,
I just, yeah, like that vibe
like
just,
it.
yeah, I like it, but that just doesn't call out to me, because like, you know, I obviously want more money, but I just like don't really vibe with that. Like just, I want to get like a massive
That
abundance
visual.
of wealth. Yeah. Like, I don't know. It just, I chose this. So it is a calculator, and then also a book that says Girls That Invest, because I've really wanted to become more financially literate, and because we are planning on buying a house, maybe not next year, but then early 2027, you know, I need to also start saving money at a higher rate. Like right now, I don't save a ton of what I make per month, especially because being self-employed, I put like 25% in my taxes.
Yeah.
So I will pay a little lower taxes this year in Prague than I would have in the US. So hopefully I'll have some extra money that I can put into my savings. But I just feel like that's something I've avoided my whole life, but also living abroad, I'm just like, okay, I just pay my rent, and I don't like think about like investing or how that even works as someone who lives abroad. Like I know there are rules and, you know, like there's different things depending on what country you live in and what country you're a resident in, and I just am so out of touch with that. And there's a lot of like events online or in person that I always see about like expats in Prague and how they can learn to like invest. So I think I need to take some of those steps and just like get smarter with my financial future just in general, but also specifically because I'm living abroad, and that makes things a little bit different for someone who lives abroad.
For sure. I need to get better at that as well, which is so ironic because I started my account, A Rich Woman's World, all about like financial literacy and money, and the way I feel so disconnected to that since I moved abroad. And for a lot of other reasons, it just hasn't been a priority. But the second I land a full-time job, I will be like, okay, 15% is going to savings. Like just budgeting it in important.
It's just so confusing because like I have like money in a 401k in the US, and like I'm like, do I just let that sit there? Because that was from my full-time job that I had out of college. And then I was looking into like a Roth, but then I learned that you can't just start a new like investment account if you're no longer a full-time resident in that country. So it's like I have this sitting 401k. So I'm like, I guess I'll just let that sit in the current fund. And now like here I'm in the pension program. So I'm like, what does that even mean? Like, so I don't think the pension is like particularly that good in the Czech Republic, but it's like, I will, I guess, eventually be able to access it if I'm still here when I'm in my 60s. And it's like, I just have so much to figure out. So my accountant is great.
We need to get someone on to talk about investing.
Ooh, that's a good topic. I'm writing that down.
Because we're obviously both so in over our heads, and that would be so valuable for both of us, but for our audience. Because a lot of people ask about taxes, and that should be a different episode. We should do an episode on taxes and an episode on investing.
Yeah, that'd be great to have like a tax expert too. Obviously, it does depend on the country, but I would think that at least EU countries are pretty similar to each other.
In terms of investing.
Yeah, and after I do my taxes, which I will do in January, I'll also be able to, like talk about my experience doing them with like my accountant here. So like, that'll be a good episode.
Back in maybe February.
We're getting smart. We're getting financial freedom. We're manifesting it.
That's great. Okay, my financial picture is actually like a picture of a podcast setup, because it's on my 2026 vision board that we, with Packing Up and Piecing Out, will make some money. I'm putting it out into the ether for both of us. We're dotting our I's, we're crossing our T's, we're doing all of the prayer things to envision this podcast. Like, I mean, I'm not saying I want it to make a lot of money, but I think it would be great if in 2026 we like have something going in terms of making money.
I think, I mean, we definitely have that potential, and I don't think we're going to ever have like this massive community, because we're talking about this niche topic. But I think that there'll be companies like out there who see that and like will want to sponsor episodes, or maybe like if we had some merch, because people love like our logo. Like, I don't know, there's stuff that we could do.
Or I mean, I would love to start more of a community where we offer more like one-to-one things with people, and like setting up something like that. So just putting that out there into the ether, and I'm sure we'll figure it out and like start taking the first steps to get there.
Yeah, speaking of 2026, I feel like we need to have like a little planning sesh, because I have like a bunch of ideas that we haven't even talked about yet, and I feel like you do too.
Great.
Like,
let's do it.
Yeah, like, because I want to have like a Facebook
on-air
group.
Planning sesh.
Yeah, just like talking about everything. My mom was like, "Why don't you guys host like a Packing Up and Piecing Out Euro trip?" And I'm like, that could be cool.
Oh my God, that would be so cool.
I know, like other European girls who are living in Europe. I mean, they don't just have to come from here, but just like because of cost, like, lots of big things coming.
So cool to have like girls that are already moving abroad, like moved abroad, come together for a trip.
Yeah, like we'd have so much to talk about.
So everyone stay tuned. 2026 is going to be the year of Pupo.
Pupo? Whenever I say Pupo, my boyfriend's like, what? And I'm like, remember Packing Up and Piecing Out, Pupo.
I guess I always say it in my mind. I don't really like say it out loud, but the Pupoers here. You guys are a Pupoer. We should have thought of that when we decided to name it. No, it's good. Y'all will get it. Okay, next we're going to be talking about housing. yeah, what's on your vision board for how? I feel like you already live in my vision board.
Yeah.
But I'd love to hear what yours is.
Yeah, I would say that this one for me is the one that won't change as significantly in 2026. Like I've talked about our plans to buy, but that also is a lot dependent on Mark's job situation. So it's not something that like we want to rush into. So we might end up being in this apartment through all of 2026. So this is the picture that I chose. There's a cat.
Love it.
I think I've mentioned that I want to foster cats.
Oh, okay,
yeah,
that's
because I don't want to get a cat of my own until I have a way that it can go outside. And right now, since we live on the top floor of our building, there's just no way I would let a cat on the balcony or something like that. But I found this organization that fosters cats, and you can say, you know, I can foster for 3 months and give them sort of dates, or you could just, you know, if you don't have any plans, you could just say I can foster. Yeah, I mean, I leave the country a lot, but I think I could tell them like I can take on fosters for this amount of time until I have to leave. Yeah. But I love cats. My mom owns a luxury cat hotel, as I mentioned. We grew up always with cats. And
everyone knows that. All the PUPOers know that.
They all know that. And just our apartment has a lot of space, and we also are allowed to have pets. They said that from the beginning. Oh, yeah. So it's like, I love the presence of an animal, and I feel like I would be able to provide these fosters a good place to stay until they find their home. Me and Mark both work from home, so if there's like kittens or just cats that have, you know, abandonment issues, like we'll be here throughout the day to take care of them. So that is like kind of a little, not totally with housing, but that's sort of the biggest thing that I thought of, like a change that I want to make. And it will affect my environment because hopefully I will have some pets around me. And that'll be so nice.
I love that. I so see that for you, but I also see you not being able to give the cat back.
I know, that's what everyone has said. And like,
yeah, I mean, that happened to us with a dog. We fostered 3 dogs, and the 3rd one we kept.
It does seem so hard. Someone told me that if you foster like multiples at once, it's a little easier because then like you get they oftentimes get adopted together, like 2 brothers, and then you know that they're going together. But I don't know, it's still going to be so hard. Everyone says to me, you're not going to be able to do it.
I mean, I feel that for you because, as you've mentioned, you're quite emotional.
Yeah. Definitely.
Maybe you'll need to like tell Mark, like, no matter what, do not let me keep this cat. Like, I'll cry, I'll beg, like, don't let me keep it. You know?
Yeah. He's the main one who's being like, you are not going to be able to let any single cat go. And then imagine we have like 12 cats because every single foster, I'm like, I can't. You have to move into the countryside and get like a farmhouse to fill with cats. I would love that, actually.
Your mom can franchise it further to Prague. You can start a luxury cat hotel. It's just your house.
She always says that. She's like, do you think it could work in Prague, like the first international? And I'm like, I don't know if people would pay for that. Like they will in America.
People wouldn't pay for that in Europe.
Yeah.
No, they would not.
Yeah.
But love that idea. Okay, mine is this photo of a very cozy sewing corner. It just looks very cozy. It looks like a nice flat with enough room for a sewing corner because currently my sewing setup in my flat is like I'm using my desk for everything. It's my work desk. It's my sewing desk. The corner is like I would be ashamed to show it to you right now. There's just shit everywhere all along this corner. And I would just love to move into a flat that has room for a sewing corner. And I was going to do a picture of, you know, a very aesthetic London flat, but I just can't imagine that happening this year. London flats are so expensive. I figure I'll be in one that maybe isn't so aesthetic, but I'm hoping at least there's room for a little sewing corner, either in my room or the living room or wherever. So hopefully that happens because I think I'll probably move in like September after being here for a little over a year. So hopefully I can find a spot that is the case for.
And I love that because, like we were saying at the beginning, sometimes when people create these, it's like sort of outrageous things, but that's like such a tangible, like you're not going to be able to get this huge, expensive London flat. Like that's just unrealistic. And then at the end of the year, if you look back and you're like, wow, I didn't do any of these, like that's so disappointing. Like to have this vision board and like, it's so unrealistic that you can't do any. So I think a sewing corner is super realistic and so nice. And like, especially just with how much you love crafts, just having like a dedicated space for that. And like, fabrics.
Yeah. And I'm starting to host my own craft events for Londoners Against SAD. Like, we're doing our first one in January that I am completely organizing. Like, I'm not doing it with someone that does craft events. So I'm having to buy a lot of things. Like, I have to get my own scissors, my own glue, my own magazines, all of that stuff. So I need a space to store it. So it's like, it's practical for my kind of Londoners Against SAD side hustle thing and for my own happiness and etc. But yeah, do not put a flat that is like £7,000 a month on your vision board knowing that you won't be able to afford that, because it'll just make you sad.
Honestly, yeah. Okay. Next we have friendship and community. Let me pull up what I have. Okay, this is my image. Just some girl shadows with some cocktails. I think my main thing really is just developing the friendships that I made so far. One of my goals for 2025, I made like a goal bingo that was really trending on TikTok at the end of last year and the start of this year. So I had like 12 goals, and one of them was to make at least one real friend in Prague, and I feel like I've definitely done that. So I feel like just harnessing those friendships that I have and like not spreading myself too thin on like just always meeting new people. I still have been meeting new people here and there, but I feel like I'm at that stage where I feel like I have multiple girls that I get on with really well and starting to develop these like really close friendships. So just harnessing that, and also of course community wise, just, you know, still going to events and supporting the friends that I've already made, because I have some friends and acquaintances who do like Czech expat events, and like Vita, we interviewed her a couple episodes back or a few episodes back, and I went to her event recently. So just like staying involved in that way, but really just focusing on my friends that I already have.
That's funny. I actually have a friend in Prague who messaged me recently, like a childhood friend. And she goes, wait, do you know Taylor of Taylor Takes Prague?
Oh my God.
Like, I see her everywhere. She's like, and then she goes, oh, wait, yeah, your podcast is with her. And then she's like, I actually do this pickleball club. I've been meaning to reach out to her and invite her because we need more people, and it seems up her alley.
Wait, that's so funny.
So you can, yeah, I mean, everyone is going to want you. She's like, yeah, I see her stuff all the time. Like, you were doing so well in the Czech expat community, because also this friend, I don't think she's like super terminally online like maybe we are. And the fact that she knows your stuff, like, wow, props to you. You're everywhere.
That's crazy to me. Like, it really is. Yeah, like just I don't know. Yeah, I get like invited to so many things, and I love especially like women focused spaces. Like, it doesn't have to just be women. And I've never played pickleball, but I have played paddle, so I would be down to try that.
It might be paddle. I don't know, but it's definitely maybe something Mark would like to go to, because it's probably co-ed.
Okay, yeah, like we've done paddle a bunch of times, and yeah, like there's so many just little communities like this, and like it's just fun, even if it's like not always about meeting new people. I also really like to post videos like uplifting these communities.
Yeah.
Like I've mentioned on here that
you're killing it.
Trying my best. I've mentioned that.
Like, how many things do you say no to?
Oh, like a lot. So yeah. I mean, but a lot of them are like things that, you know, if it's coming from another expat girl and she's like, you know, want to come, that's something that I'd be so willing to support. And also like make a video even if they don't ask for it. But then, you know, so often I'm like get invited to like come to this museum, and it's like something that I'm not really interested in. And I'm like, well, that ticket costs $5, so I'm like not gonna make a reel and a TikTok for a museum that I don't really want to go to. But yeah, I focus like, you know, when I do most of my content like for free, for no cost, and I like to focus on like women's businesses and just small businesses in general. And I have said here before, I don't think like there's a money-making career for me in just content creation in terms of like Instagram and TikTok. I just don't think it's feasible for someone like me in Europe. I think you would have to be like a beauty influencer to be able to make money from those brands. Like for me, when I do get like a partnership, it's usually between like $200 to $400, and so I would need a lot of those.
Have to do like one a day.
Yeah,
basically.
Yeah,
and just isn't feasible.
It's just not feasible. So I think focusing on my blog and my YouTube account and also the podcast, I feel like in terms of actual like progression and like being able to make it into more of a career. I'll always do my social media, but it's like it's more not just for fun, like I definitely do it for a reason, but it's more just like community spirit, I guess you could say.
Love it. I mean, clearly you're doing it.
That's so
okay,
funny.
Mine for friendship and community is this picture of like a crafting event. Because another goal of mine is to continue to grow Londoners Against SAD, my like community events thing I do here in London, and start doing my own craft events. So that's kind of my goal. I almost put that as one of my financial goals as well, because I do want to start making money with that.
I was going to ask honestly, that. Like, can you, is this something, obviously I'm assuming it's never going to be super lucrative, but like, is this something that you could like turn a little bit of a profit on? Because you're spending so much time on it, you know?
No, I know. It's so time consuming planning the events. Like in the last week, I've probably spent 5 hours planning the events, which people will be like, well, that's not that much. Like, I mean, it kind of is when you add it
and that's like taking the time away from you applying for job. Like that is like,
yeah, for sure. And then I went to it. No, so it's probably been more like 10 hours, because then I went to one of my events, all of the things. Yeah, taking time away from applying for jobs. I would say I could make money from it, and I already have made a little bit of money from it. Kind of just like 50 pounds here, 50 pounds there, 100 pounds here, like depending on the event and the margins. So I'm trying to plan my own events going forward, because the margins are obviously bigger when it's completely run by me. And I will say, I think a huge opportunity right now in terms of having like an online presence is doing IRL events. Like maybe you should think about this, because people are so craving IRL like connection, because we're on our phone so much and people are so lonely, that weirdly having a presence online maybe can translate to that in terms of making money. I mean, even with, you see with Czech Expat Club, like that is obviously a business that she is, you know, trying to grow and run. So it definitely is a possibility. I don't think it would ever be a business that's like super lucrative, but I think it can be a substantial side hustle that you make, you know. If I was doing it like a lot, maybe I could make £1,000 a month from it or something, which isn't nothing. Like that is something. But it also requires a lot of work. So it's not something you'd be making like hourly a ton of money on. Yeah. But something to think about, and just something for me I'm trying to figure out, because there's a lot of things that go into it.
Yeah, and I think realistically, like in your 20s especially, like we all have these hobbies and passions, but some of them being able to like turn them into an a way to make some money, because you're spending so much time doing it. And like even though you're starting it as, you know, a way for community and a place, like I think that, you know, and whenever I attend events, like ticketed events where you pay to go, I always know that there's a margin in there for the organizer to make money from it. Like I expect that, because it's like that's a job to them, they're organizing this. So it's like totally
I think sometimes though, I've heard people talk about it in such a negative way, or I've even seen online people post about it in the comments be like, how could you like monetize this? Community should be free. And while I agree with that, like events aren't free. Yeah, community should be free, but like events aren't free.
Space, materials,
the
time, the labor like that's put into it.
I know, like, sorry, you guys, I'm actually not a communist. Like, I do think labor should be valued with money. And I also think that is so easy to say, because it's such a female-dominated industry. Events is so female-dominated. Almost no men come to my events. Men don't plan that many events. So I just really think it should be valued. The fact that, like, it's women pretty much, I mean, I would say event planning must be 90% women, maybe 85, but
well, every female-dominated industry is undervalued. I mean, think of influencing, the amount of people who say, oh, like, influencers shouldn't make this much money, or it's not a real job. Like, that's because it's completely female-dominated, and that's why it's not taken seriously. And I hear so many women and see so many women commenting on posts saying, oh my God, stop trying to be an influencer. Like
no one's saying that about NBA players.
Yeah, like that they make too much money. Like people say the opposite. They're like, well, they're the best in the world. Like Alex Earle is obviously the best in the world. Like on TikTok, like she's making... Okay, it's a whole different argument of like the wealth disparities in the US. That's a massive problem, but it's like I love seeing like a woman succeed like that. Like it makes me so happy, and seeing people get so pissy about it is so funny to me, because it's like, you're just misogynistic, or internalized misogyny runs so deep. Like, that's why you hate
So deep.
influencers, because
So true.
like,
whenever an influencer gets popular, I always know they're about to get canceled in some way, or people are about to start talking about X, Y, or Z, about how they're doing it wrong, because like we just can't stand to see women succeed.
yeah, like there's always a
way.
downfall. Like anytime there's an it girl, like Hailey Bieber was like with Road and such an it girl, and then suddenly everyone was like, she's a stalker for Selena Gomez. Like there's always like a big public turn against the it girl, whoever it is, and like it's such a thing. But yeah, I feel like events, it's taken as like a frivolous little side gig and like not like a serious thing, but it's like it's a huge global industry, and has been for like as long as humans have been organizing events. Like
Yeah. So if you were thinking about planning events, anyone out there, reach out to me. I'd love to hear what everyone's ideas are, because I think it's so interesting. But yeah, moving on, let's go on to our next category, relationship. What is your vision board?
Okay. Here I have a photo of a couple, and they're both like reading books at a coffee shop. I chose this because I feel like just now that this will be the second full year that Mark and I are officially living together, we've really settled into this like mature era. We both read every night before bed. Like
so
we're
cute.
embracing that grandma lifestyle a little bit. And I think the things like we talked about in the financial category and home category, obviously that's all something that I also am doing alongside Mark. So I think just continuing to grow together, both in our careers and also just in our hobbies. And yeah, we read basically all the same books. Like I'll read something and then he'll read it right after, or he'll read something and I'll read it right after, so that we can talk about it. So I just thought something with reading was a good fit.
Oh, that's cute. Wow, reading the same books. I should do that. I feel like me and Limebike don't read the same books at all, but maybe I should get him to like read one of my favorite books and vice versa, because that would be...
It's so fun to talk about it. Like
fun.
after I read something, I just want to talk about it so badly. And so, yeah.
Does he like your same books? Because I don't know if that would be the case for me.
For the most part, yes. I mean, some of my books are definitely quite like super feminist, and obviously he's like a feminist and he reads a lot of like the feminist books I give him, but some are just like probably a little too extreme. But in terms of like, 'cause we read a lot of historical fiction, classics, so yeah, we like both, especially both really love classics.
Okay.
So we're so literature novelists
love
like that. But yeah, we
reading
do
at
often
night,
like the same
important.
things. And yeah, I try to read every night before bed, even if it's just a few pages. Some nights
it
obviously
helps so
doesn't
much
work,
with sleep.
but yeah. Okay, let's see yours.
That's good.
Just
Great.
a lime bike. Photo of a lime bike.
Done that. No, it's a picture of like a couple in a kitchen just doing kind of like a boring, mundane. It looks like a boring, mundane morning. And I chose this because I kind of just am craving more of like settling into the relationship with me and Limebike and having just more time to kind of do nothing. Like I think that's been one of my favorite parts about being in a relationship, is that you can just do nothing but together. So it's like slightly more interesting and fun than if I was, alone doing it. So running errands together, making dinner together, having breakfast, all that stuff is kind of what I'm looking forward to, which is so boring. But I mean, I'm also looking forward to like going on big trips and doing really fun things, having nights out, all that stuff. But it's kind of been fun just to see what it's like to, like, this is what everyone was talking about when they were saying that, like, you don't get sick of the person that you're with, which has been such a shock to me because I get sick of almost everyone. But so far, it's been good. I haven't gotten really annoyed with him or sick of him when we spend a lot of time together. So hopefully that continues.
That's so cute. Yeah, those little like mundane things are so important, and obviously those come more once you do eventually live together. But even just sleeping over their place and making breakfast, like just so important moments in a relationship. So I love that.
Yeah. Okay, next category is career. I'm excited to see what you have put on here.
Well, this was hard for me to choose because I have such like a multifaceted career. We talked about it in one of our previous episodes with Embrace the Squiggle.
Yes.
You know, I have my consulting in rare disease. I also run a nonprofit part-time. Then I also do social media, the podcast, blog, things like that. So I chose just this photo of Elle Woods when she's like walking up. I think this is in Legally Blonde 2, maybe, where she's walking up like the steps of the Capitol building, and her in her pink suit and all these men just like staring at her. And I chose this because, well, one, the Legally Blonde movies speak to me a lot. I love those movies and I think they're so inspiring. And two, I think that whatever I continue to do in my career, that it's going to be like oriented around women in some way. Like in the Embrace the Squiggle episode, I talked about the in vitro with genetic testing and how I want to go more into that career path. And, you know, that's very involved with like reproductive and women's health. So I think that that's like always what I'm going to be doing, just involving women in some way. So yeah, I'm excited for it. I'm excited for my content to develop, and I'm excited for the podcast. But after that episode with Embrace the Squiggle, I definitely feel ready to like get a plan in place to get my new sort of path going. Have I done anything yet? No, but I'm now more ready to do it than before, for sure.
Well, 2026, like, I don't see what's wrong with starting in the new year.
Yeah, it's
and
like a
the
fresh.
fact that you even have. So I was gonna ask in that episode. I guess I'll just ask now. Do you want to, with like the in vitro stuff, are you looking to work for someone else, or do you want to start your own business?
No, I want to just basically right now I have my own consulting company that's still based in the US. It's just me, just an LLC. So I basically want to shift from doing general patient advocacy consulting to being a consultant for companies that are doing IVF and with PGT or other like basically that. So I would like work for a few different companies at once and like consult with them on their patient initiatives, so how they can, you know, be the most patient friendly. Like for example, some of these companies will have blogs, and they'll have like speaker programs where different women come in and speak to the company, and like how they can present themselves to be most like patient centric to the women. And so I want to do that, but then I also want to work on being more of like a thought leader and like writing more articles about the topic. And like in the US, yes, but also like in Europe, like it can be quite inaccessible in different countries. Like in Germany, I think you need to like apply to some ethics board to even be able to do it, even if you have like a terminal illness. Like my sons would have a 50% chance of having in the future. You still need to apply to an ethics board. So yeah, there's just like a lot to be said there, and it's going to be difficult because it's a very still controversial topic, especially now in the US with IVF in general being sort of up in the air. But this genetic testing of the embryos aspect adds a lot of controversy, mostly I guess amongst like religious groups, but it's just something I need to be prepared that I will probably get a lot of like vitriol, but social media has trained me for that. So yeah, I definitely want to still be self-employed.
That is so true.
But
you've got thick skin.
Yeah, I have to. So yeah, I'm still want to be self-employed, but just I feel like this, I could see this becoming more of a long-term career because this is such a also growing field. Like more and more women are finding out that, and couples are finding out that they're carriers of different rare diseases, and this technology is becoming used more and more to prevent them passing down these severe and often terminal illnesses. So it's like big field, yes, and we'll see. I mean, there's not too many like big influencers like in IVF and PGT, and I don't want to necessarily be like an influencer. I think thought leader is the better term. Yeah. And like eventually I will do this as well.
Get on LinkedIn.
Yeah, I will do this as well when I like eventually have kids. I will go through this, so I feel like I'm just like the right person to be talking about this topic from like the patient perspective. Sorry, that was super long-winded, but I get so many questions about my career. Like that's probably my biggest asked question because people want to know like how I make money and also if I work a check job. But no, I want to stay self-employed.
So great. You can just send them to this episode as well.
Yeah. That's how I got people to listen, to the Embrace the Squiggle. I was like, you all want to know what I do for work and how I make money. So this is how.
It's here. Great. Okay, my picture is just like a picture of a couple of people sitting around a table with their laptops and their creative materials. And well, first of all, I want a job. That is like number one. I've been looking for a job. Y'all can listen to Embrace the Squiggle episode to hear more. But I also would love a job where I'm not just me. Like I feel like I've been such a solopreneur for most of my career, and even in like the one kind of contract office job that I've had, it was still pretty much just me. Like I was the whole department in terms of the comms and marketing. And I would love to be working for a place where it's not just me and where it's a bit more collaborative and there's a team where I can learn from different people. So that's my goal, is that I can get a job and it's with people that I can learn from and that I like, which in this economy is a lot to ask for, apparently.
That'll be cute, going out to the pub with your coworkers.
Exactly, and just like a way to expand my circle in London, because making British friends can be really tough. They are really entrenched with their uni friends and their childhood friends, and one of the only ways to crack them open is work with them.
That makes sense.
So I would love if that could be a possibility to make work friends, and obviously just to have a bigger network here so that I can actually grow a career here. So that is mine.
Love it.
The last one is personal. So this could be kind of random. I'm looking. Let's see what you have.
I chose this photo of a girl sleeping in bed because one of the things that I have been focusing on the last couple months, but also is going to be one of my big focuses for next year, is my health. And I've talked on past episodes how I have some chronic health issues. I have sleep apnea. And so a lot of my issues come back to multiple different problems I have with my sleep. And now this also connects to being abroad, because now that I have my trade license, I'm able to switch into the public healthcare system. And so private is really good, but now that I'm switching, I'm going to get all new doctors. And so I basically next year just want to be like, see a bunch of doctors, because now it's going to be free. So I want to get a new normal doctor, like a primary care, new gynecologist. I want to go to a new cardiologist because I also have heart problems. And then I want to also see a sleep neurologist and maybe get a new sleep study done here just so it's on my medical record. And then this is really random, but another fact about me is that I have long Epstein-Barr virus, which is mono. So it's like long COVID, but I have long.
That's terrible.
Yeah, I have long mono, and I've like tested for it, and
terrible.
I have like there's some special test you can do that shows that not only do you have the antibodies for it, which means you've had it, but that they're also like reactivated in you. And like I've weirdly tested positive for mono in blood work like multiple times, which isn't supposed to happen. But yeah, anyway, that's also part of my chronic issues. And now with long COVID becoming such a more common thing, there's more like awareness amongst, I feel like, medical professionals about these like long viral infections. And so my mom found this clinic in Prague that like does things for long viral infections. So that won't be covered by insurance, but still the cost of out-of-pocket stuff here is cheap compared to the US. So I also want to see, I guess, like somewhat of a more holistic doctor. I believe wholeheartedly in the medical system, but I think for a condition like this, it's also good to like, you know, also look a little bit outside of that because it's such a topic that's not understood. So 2026 is my year to use my public health insurance that I'm so grateful to have living in a European country and just like get my health under control so that I can feel my best.
Yes. Let's hope that works.
If there's any other chronic illness girlies, let me know.
Reach out.
Yeah, reach out to me.
For sure. Okay, mine is a picture of like weights. It's a very gym-esque photo, like 2 dumbbells and some sneakers, etc. I started weightlifting maybe over a year ago at this point, and it's been honestly so revolutionary for my health, but I've kind of fallen off in the last few months because I had to move gyms because I moved, and my gym now is just kind of a crappy gym, so it's been hard to get motivated to go. You know, like the nicer the gym, the more expensive, but also the more likely you are to go. Like, it's almost better to pay for a slightly more expensive gym because then you'll actually go more often.
Yes.
You're like, I got to get that cost per visit down.
100%.
But now the gym I go to is really affordable. So I'm like, I don't even need to go. Like, it's 40 pounds a month. Like, who cares? I can go a few times and that's worth it.
Wait, that's crazy that you also say that that's affordable because I go to like the main luxury gym in Prague and I pay $80 a month. Yeah.
Like, why would you even do that?
It is cheaper because we just now bought this Black Friday sale for another 6-month package. But yeah, that includes all these amazing classes, a sauna, there's 4 locations. It's like a fancy gym, like the upscale. I know. It's amazing. Like when I was in the US.
That's why you moved to Prague.
Yeah, I paid like $200 a month to go to Lifetime. And like, that's crazy. Like $200 a month. That's crazy.
Yeah, that's normal in the US and here. The gyms in London are even more expensive than in the US, I would say, because just real estate here is so crazy expensive. But yeah, my gym just isn't very nice. They don't do classes. There is a gym near me that I would really love to join, but it's so expensive that I need a job before I can join it, basically. So hopefully the whole job thing works out so I can get back into more of my weightlifting grind, because I think weightlifting for in terms of like outcomes for time spent is the best kind of workout you could do, and I also like it. It's something that I've stuck with. I've never stuck with almost anything else, so now that I've stuck with this, I'm like, I just need to continue, even though my gym is crappy.
So much better than like just pure cardio. I hate
don't
just
even
going
really
on the
do
treadmill
cardio that much anymore. Like I go on jogs through the park maybe once a week and I walk, but like I don't really do cardio because I just don't think, for me, it's not something I enjoy, so I won't do it. You know? Yeah. But yeah, pick what you like and do that. That's the biggest thing I've ever learned about fitness is like, do something that you actually will stick with, because otherwise
you're just not going to do it because it sucks so bad.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, well, that was our 2026 Living Abroad vision board. I feel like we did really well and have a lot of like attainable goals and what we want to achieve for next year. I can't wait to see our followers' renditions. But for our segment on this episode, we're doing something a little different, and we're going to just give a short message, a short letter to our future living abroad selves. So Lily, do you want to start?
Sure. This is a very creative take on this prompt, but we'll see. I said my kind of message / manifestation, I guess you could say, is a lot can change in a year, and I know a lot has changed this one. You wanted more and you got more. You worked more and you played more. It will be a year of more.
Love that. We're so inspiring. Okay, mine is 2026 is going to be the year everything falls into place for you. Prague will really feel like home. Your relationship and friendships will get even stronger. You'll experience new places and new things, make strides in Czech, and so much more. Just remember that you deserve to be where you are, both physically in Prague and also in your multifaceted career, and no one can take that from you.
Oh, I love that.
In reference to the comments,
really up everything you've said.
Yeah, and then reference to the comments I get on a daily basis of "Go home, we don't want you here." I'm here, boo. And y'all can't take that from me. I'm not going. Yeah. Funny.
Love that. Okay. Well, I'd say that we're incredibly inspiring for everyone.
Honestly, I'm going to tear up. We're so inspiring.
So we hope this episode encouraged everyone to think more about their lives. Please do check out our Instagram and get the template and fill it in and share it with us, because I am really excited to see what people are manifesting for their years so we can all manifest it for each other. And please don't forget to leave us a rating and review on your podcast app. Follow us on socials at Pack Up Peace Out. And until next year, bye.
Bye. That's all for this episode of Packing Up and Peacing Out.
If you liked it, hit subscribe, follow us at Pack Up Peace Out, and leave us a review. It helps more Packers Up and Peacers Out find us.
And for more of our unfiltered takes on life abroad, follow me at Taylor Takes Prague.
And me at A Rich Woman's World. We'll see you at the airport.